And I'm Stefanie Jochman-Deepak. Today, we are discussing Season 1, Episode 7, finale of the first season of Downton Abbey.
It's so hard to believe that we're already here.
I know, the time has flown.
The time has flown. And also, there's just not a lot of episodes, and they're long. So we get a lot of stuff done in a shorter period of time. Thank you, British television. We love it. And that's great for a podcast.
Amen. Yes. So much to talk about every time.
I was just looking at my notes that I took from the episode and surprised myself that it's like a page and a half of notes. And I didn't realize as I was watching the episode and just writing down my thoughts that so much had happened. And I have to look physically at it and be like, oh, a lot happened. And I had a lot of thoughts. So
yeah. I feel like so many of my notes were just me sort of keeping up with the plot because it was like,
oh my
change,
God.
change.
Yeah. If you had asked me before we started doing this rewatch how many episodes Cora was pregnant, I would have said 3 or 4.
Oh, really?
She was pregnant for a while.
Yeah. Nope, just this one and half of it.
Yeah. Not very long at all. That plot point came and went.
Yes.
Real fast.
Yes, it did.
Real fast. So,
yeah.
Well, we're already teasing some of the things that happened in the episode, but let's do the official 60-second-ish recap.
All right.
Are you ready?
I will do my best. Yes. So much happened. So we'll see how much I can actually get in there. Here we go. Let's get ready to rumble. We are back from the season in London, and that means it's the season of spats, the time of tiffs, the age of antagonism at Downton Abbey. In this corner, Mrs. Patmore, queen of the Downton kitchen, stares down Mrs. Bird of Crawley House in a British bake-off for the ages. Will Mrs. Patmore protect her roost from the new bird, or will a new cook take control of the store cupboard? And elsewhere, and elsewhere upstairs and down, slippery Sarah O'Brien fights for her serving life against a sacking from Cora, with one deadly trick up her sleeve. And next, it's the footmen in fisticuffs when William the Quiet Conqueror decks taunting Thomas after he refuses to practice basic empathy and insults the memory of William's dear mother. And what's this? A sister smash! The most vanilla thriller north of Manila. In a battle of wits and deadly looks, Bloody Mary stares down Edith the Underminer. And Mary's not done. She's locked in a will they, won't they, battle of wills and wants with Matthew. And finally, a tag team main event. It's Violet and Isabel. It's a Violet versus Isabel matchmaker match of which grandmotherly type knows best. Now put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Nice. One more.
And that's still not everything.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's still a thing,
What?
The wrestling culture and
I know. I know this. I know this better than I used to because my husband is a fan.
See, there you go. It's the new soap opera, frankly.
It really is. The more I watch it and the daily updates that they do on Netflix now, I was like, oh, so this is a soap opera.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, speaking of soap operas, we had quite a soap opera going on.
Yes.
This whole episode. I mean, that even the 60-second recap that covers so much, I feel like there's still so many layers beneath it to dig into.
I didn't even touch on Anna.
Yeah.
Anna.
It's so good. This is such a great episode. One, I want to sing Julian Fellowes' praises right from the top at wrapping up so many different storylines, and yet having the season end in a way that still makes you want to go forward with the family and understand what is this next phase of life going to be for them, even though so many things have been wrapped up pretty neatly by the end of this episode.
Yeah, it really does. It concludes the plots that need to be concluded while planting a really exciting seed for what's coming forward. And just in terms of how the season opens and how the season closes, just a really beautiful full circle use of historical fact. So
yeah,
really, really cleverly constructed.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, as you mentioned, they're returning from the London season. We totally skipped it.
Yeah, didn't
see it. All. Yeah, I mean, how many other TV shows are there that would have made a point of doing a whole London season, especially Sybil's coming out?
Yeah,
like I guess that surprised me most of all is, and I'm sure I've caught it before, but I really latched onto it this time. I was like, oh, that's right. We've been like waiting for this to happen. And it just like happened in between episodes.
Yeah.
This big event that we've been waiting for, and her coming out and like becoming a proper lady and being eligible. And it's like, oh, they went away for a little while and came back, and that's done.
Yep.
And we're not going to talk about it. Other than one comment from Cora to be like, you did such a good job. And then for Edith to be like, how come you never say nice things about me? Such a middle sister moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Marsha.
Yeah. Like, and of course, Cora's response isn't helpful. No. Really? Because that's what she says. Oh, you were so helpful. Like, great. It's what everybody wants to hear.
Yep. Really want to be helpful. Glad I'm auditioning for that job of caring for you in your old age.
Exactly. One person does not return with them. Mary stays in London with Rosamond.
Yes. Who we finally get to see after hearing from her. We finally get to
see Aunt Rosamond as they walk through a London park and speak in veiled comments, and neither one of them fully just saying what they're there was a point like I was like, God, this has to get so tedious at a certain point to just like
circular be conversations.
And like the London season is like weeks long.
Yeah.
So to have existed in this state of not fully saying what you think or what happened, and veiled references to rumors, like, God, that must have been exhausting.
Yeah. Like just the mental work of having to avoid direct address of this situation.
Right.
And then
to not just be able to come out and be like, Mary, what the hell happened up there? Why isn't anybody inviting you to parties?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And how many like euphemisms and excuses and things like that can you come up with?
Yeah. Yeah. Also, upon their return, we learn that the news of the day is the murder of the Austrian Archduke.
Yes. Foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing. And yeah, so we get back and we do start to see the unrest that is happening downstairs.
Yes.
There's this wonderful moment that, where Carson and Mrs. Hughes are sort of huddled in a hallway looking through the window that looks in the kitchen, and they're watching Mrs. Patmore really just like be very unfair and unkind to Daisy, and and they're discussing, what are we going to do about her? We really have to make some choices, and like, has the Earl of Grantham made up his mind about what we're doing about Carson? And it's like we have these
or about
issues.
Bates. I mean, yeah.
I'm sorry about Bates. Yeah, like there's so many threads that are being pulled that we need to really figure out what we're going on. And to me, I love those quiet moments between the two of them that just make it so clear how much they respect each other.
Yes.
And that they see one another as equals, as colleagues, and that they look to one another for guidance.
Yes.
Especially when dealing with staff. So it was just this lovely moment, this shot of the two of them huddled so close together, speaking in whispers, dealing with these human resource issues that they have going on.
Yeah. And I think it would be easy for some factions to happen, right? They're sort of in charge of male and female staff, and it would be very easy for them to to butt heads or, to be particularly protective of the staff that they oversee and not collaborate as well as they do. But here are two people who are really respectful, and the collaborative relationship that they model sets such a good example for the rest of the people who work under them.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, we know that Carson came up in the house. Mm-hmm. Do we ever really learn? Did she also like start as a maid and maybe become a lady's maid and eventually become head housekeeper at Grantham?
Oh, that's a good question.
Like, how long back does their history go?
They don't really ever talk about her history there. Yeah. I mean, we know she was like a farm girl, and then the opportunity for a job in service came up. But I can't remember if she specified that the job was at Downton Abbey or if she worked in service someplace else, and then, maybe she was hired for the role that she has now. That's a detail that we'll maybe have to keep paying attention to.
Yeah. Because those moments to me, especially knowing how their relationship evolves later in the series, it's just interesting to think about, like, were they young people together in this place? And have they grown into these positions of influence and power in the downstairs world together?
Good question.
Yeah. Not that it matters. I'm curious. Like, has that been explored at all? I don't recall that it has, but as I'm learning, rewatching the series and paying attention in a way I haven't before, there are many things that are in the series that I just didn't notice. So
really, you're planting the seed for the book, and nobody steal this from us, but they
yes.
there have
TM
been books,
TM.
Yeah, there have been books out now about like what was Marmie's life like before Little Women, what was Marilla's life before Anne of Green Gables, and now I can imagine the book is like Charlie and Elsie. It's like their young lives in service.
What was the Wicked Witch's life like before Dorothy?
There you go.
Yeah, some of them become quite popular.
Now I'm imagining Carson on a broom.
Why Carson?
Because it's funnier.
And Elsie is totally a Glinda.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Charlie Carson, like whatever Charlie's, like he was a
song and dance man.
Yeah, exactly. So,
unthinkable as that may be, that sordid past of his as a person in the theater.
So he's got the showier part.
That's true. Yeah. So we also have a pregnancy that lasts exactly half an episode.
Yes. And I mean, ultimately, the situation is very sad, and so I don't want to make light of that loss. But I do, and I appreciate this as a plot point, like and a complication, because I remember first watching, and I was just, because at this point, like with the daughters as old as they are, the idea of another child coming into the family was not on my mind at all when I was watching the show the very first time. But how Cora looks in this episode and what Robert says they know about this baby feels to me slightly like unnatural and too convenient. Like, so Cora is pregnant, and so that, now I have to back up. I feel like I made a claim about the end of this plot line without us filling in the full details. But basically, like, Cora announces that she's pregnant, and so now there's a potential for a male heir, which throws Matthew's potential inheritance into question, which then complicates the relationship with Mary, because you've got Rosamond, and this was a surprise. I normally like Rosamond, but maybe my perception of Rosamond has changed over time, because she's the one saying, don't say yes to Matthew yet. Like, what if you're stuck married to just a solicitor, right? While your, youngest brother inherits it all. So some people are telling Mary, say yes to Matthew. Some people are telling Mary, hold off until you know if he's going to inherit or not. And then when O'Brien gets wind of the fact that Cora's helping to hire a new maid, not realizing that new maid's going to be at the Dower house, not at Downton, and O'Brien feels threatened in like the worst of her moments, she sort of sets up a dangerous space outside Cora's bath. Cora steps on the soap, slips, falls, and miscarries. Yes. And then Robert reveals that this baby was a boy. Mm-hmm. And so my issue with this is Cora did not look pregnant enough for them to know that information about the baby.
Yeah. Well, they do say when the pregnancy is revealed, Dr. Clarkson says she's 4 or 5 months gone.
Oh, wow. She does not look it.
No, she does not. And I know because I was just listening to another interview with Jennifer Lawrence where she talks about apparently on a second baby, your pregnancy shows a lot faster.
Okay.
So, it would have been strange, although 18 years had passed, that, she wouldn't have appeared more pregnant by 4 or 5 months. But in the world of television, let's back up a little bit further to the announcement when yes. Robert is literally taken off his feet by this news, acting in place of the audience as we are all like, what? And then Elizabeth McGovern has to pretend to be offended by the implication that, like, what, you thought I couldn't still get pregnant? And it's like, girl,
you have daughters in their 20s.
Don't pretend like you're not surprised by this too.
Yeah.
Like, it's the one little piece of writing of this episode that I really took issue with, because I was like, no, this is pretty astonishing. Yeah. Everybody should be astonished. And I don't think Cora would be like, you thought I wasn't fertile? Oh, like that didn't seem right to me.
Yeah. I would think Cora would be a little surprised herself.
Yeah, exactly. To be like, oh, this is really something. Like, I know it's shocking news. And which is why I waited so long to make sure that this is the case. And I went to the doctor and I didn't say anything until like I'm through my first trimester, apparently. That all would have made more sense. Her just that one line about being like, well, don't look so shocked. It's like, no, I think we all should be shocked. I also, the conversation between Dr. Clarkson and Robert about women's anatomy and how babies are made. Dr. Clarkson is trying to very gently talk about menopause, and Robert just goes, thank you. I know quite as much as I need to about all that. Cuts him off, and is like, nope, I don't need to know anymore. Thank you. So there was a bit of humor at the beginning of this, which I think is great because, that lends an air of joy and lightness to this news at first, this very happy, welcome news.
Yes.
Before we get into the nitty gritty of like, well, what will this mean for the estate and what would it mean for Matthew? And there is a proposal on the table, which Mary is still contemplating and apparently thought about all summer,
Yes.
And still just isn't sure.
Well, because she wants to tell him about Mr. She wants to tell him about Mr. She wants to tell him about Mr. Pamuk. And
that's true.
Trying to debate like whether she should do that. But yeah, what do you want to say about that situation?
I feel like when I was watching this for the first time, I really thought to myself, like, if she's not sure after all this time, then it's not meant to be, man. And also at that time I would have been like, she's not all that great. Like, this is no great loss for you, Matthew. Just like walk away. Like if she wasn't, I mean, I understand there are other considerations for a woman in her position. Mm-hmm. She does have to think about legacy and property and all of those things. So if it's not an immediate yes to the proposal, that's fine. They were also at odds for quite a bit of time up until the point when they finally weren't and are kissing over sandwiches. So I got that. But then when you skip to this episode and it's been months and she's still not sure. And now there's the baby.
Mm-hmm.
And she's taking pause yet again. And a happy ending for the two of them is not really in the cards at this point in the series. I just felt like, yeah, move on. Like, this is not... it's like, it's so clear that, like, this... If you hadn't made up your mind by now, like, it's just not meant to be.
Yeah. I don't know. I think back to the last episode and their attraction. I feel like the right feelings are there, especially when, when members of Mary's family are suggesting she wait a little bit longer or that she say yes and then retract it. And she has this comment about, like, it's not how we are together. And that line for me suggests that she and Matthew have really developed this friendship, this relationship, this sort of partnership. And so the hang-ups aren't necessarily in terms of feelings, but in the logic and the practicality of the situation and her thinking about family and responsibility and reputation. Initially the wait to say yes was about, and still is about, like, I want to be totally honest. I need to tell him about Mr. Pamuk.
Yes.
But I think now complicating that is, okay, now there's a chance he could learn about Mr. Pamuk and then he won't even inherit. And then if he doesn't want me after he learns that, he has this information about me. I don't know. I feel like she hasn't given enough evidence for us to totally know this is her thought process. Right. But yeah, I feel like,
well, there's enough ambiguity that we both think different things about what is taking up her brain space as she's trying to make this decision. You're bringing up a very good point, which is that the Pamuk of it all, which has not really, did that even come up this episode?
I think so, because I think Mary confronts Edith. Like, she figures out that Edith is the one that
totally
wrote.
Yes, that part of it all does, but just that's part of the reason why she's not saying yes to Matthew.
Right.
Is like, well, I have yet to reveal that secret, and remember, I need to tell him that. Like, I had kind of forgotten that was part of her reasoning for not saying yes sooner. And it just really seemed like, like, at some point, if you love the guy, you're going to take the steps you need, whether that means telling him about Mr. Pamuk or just saying yes, or,
Yeah.
I agree that she's not the type to say yes with an escape plan in mind for later. Like, that would have seemed disingenuous. And I like that she says that's not our way. That's good. That's good.
No, I think the feeling is there. Like, maybe that's my sort of wishful thinking, but I do feel like the feeling is there, and it's just everything else outside of it is what complicates matters. And I think we see that, later when things sort of fall apart with Mary's emotion. She feels like she's ruined things all over again. And
because she did.
Yeah, because she did. And Matthew just has, like, kind of a stubborn pride, which, I mean, reasonably so. Like,
well, especially because she's not talking to him.
Yeah.
Even in that last moment, in that confrontation between the two of them, she could have at that moment said, okay, here's the real reason. I have to tell you something, and you need to ask me again, knowing the full truth about me. It has nothing to do with the rest of this.
Yeah.
Here's the real thing. Or even if it's like, here's some new information for you. Please don't make a decision right now. Go ask me again after the baby is born, so we have all the facts and we can make a decision, not based on what ifs or maybes or concerns about the future. We'll have all the facts, and then we can make a decision. If she had said that, it would have been like, okay, great. But it's just, I don't know. At this point in the series, not knowing that they would eventually get together and be very happy, I just remember my feeling being like, Matthew, walk away. It's like...
But he's been living in a dream.
Oh, yeah.
He's been caught up in the dream.
Yeah.
That's props to Dan Stevens. That was a really great exchange there where he says, let's see, Yeah, basically, I just feel like I've been living in a dream, and now it's time for me to wake up and go home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great stuff between the two of them. The fact that we're talking about it this much is a good sign of how intriguing and captivating that relationship is to us, even all these years later, as we look back at their start together. Mm-hmm. I will say, when it comes to Lady Mary's suitors, I'm going to say it again. I think she overlooked Evelyn Napier too quickly.
Oh, no.
I think he's a handsome guy. I love a tall, pale nerd.
I mean, I do too, but Evelyn Napier's dull.
He had the moral fortitude to come to her and be like, "Hey, I feel like I have to tell you. I want you to know this wasn't me. That I would not do that to you. But two, I know who it is, and I really struggled with whether or not to tell you.
Yeah.
But here it is. I don't know. I like the guy. I think he would have been a fine pick for her, and she overlooked him too soon. I'm on Team Napier.
No, I am not. I mean, I can appreciate his moral fortitude and his responsible conduct. He's welcome to find someone else, but Mary needs someone more interesting. Mary would get so bored with Evelyn Napier so fast.
Maybe. Sometimes it's the quiet ones, though.
Maybe.
Sometimes it's the quiet ones who have these rich inner lives.
His still waters did not seem to run deep, but okay.
Okay, all right. We can agree to disagree on Evelyn Napier.
I do, coming up in future seasons, I do have a suitor that I will fight for.
Okay.
In all subsequent seasons. So
great. God, I wonder if we're just always going to disagree on who Mary should be with.
That's interesting.
So far we are at odds on every pairing. We're like, no.
Yep. Because Matthew is interesting because he has there's this slight class difference. There's this real difference in experience, and so there's just real variety and interest there, and also he can just match wits with her. And yeah. Mary needs a wit matcher. And there's somebody coming up later on who does it.
Okay.
And the show did not give him enough time.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get there. We'll see.
But we'll do some listener
I bet I know
polls.
who you're talking about.
You probably do.
I probably do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, there's this moment when again, it's Carson and Mrs. Hughes are downstairs talking about the pregnancy and the fact that it could change Lady Mary's mind. Mm-hmm. And Carson is just so sure that Lady Mary would not throw him over if he didn't inherit. And Mrs. Hughes has this non-verbal reaction that they show that is just perfect. It's perfect.
I do love Mrs. Hughes. Mrs. Hughes has clear lines between respect and appreciation for the employer versus reverence. Carson is full on reverence, and Mrs. Hughes is they're people.
Right. And not always the best of people, Charlie.
Yeah.
Not always the best of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, we are getting some drama with Violet and her maid.
Yes, which that had some Gosford Park
Yes, exactly.
echoes.
Exactly. I was like, oh, here we are again. Is there anything worse than losing a maid?
Yeah,
and I think they said something similar, training a new maid. And it's like, oh.
Yep. And how could she be so selfish? The maid is leaving to get married.
How could she be so selfish? And how could she leave? I've been as gentle as a lamb. Sure. Most of the time.
Yes.
That was so good. And so, there's the lady maid of it all, but I want to talk about Mrs. Bird.
Okay. Oh,
Mrs. Bird. What a hoot.
Yes.
An old bird indeed.
Indeed.
Such a great character. What a showcase for that actress. Christine Lohr. who gets to have all these layers and moments, and it's really just the one episode that she gets featured prominently.
Yeah, I think she'll show up. She'll kind of weave her way in and out.
She does. Yeah, she is a part of and she's a part of Ethel's storyline in the future.
That's right.
But briefly, and I don't like those moments, but these moments are so great because she is such a spitfire, a firecracker. She is going blow for blow with Mrs. Patmore.
Yes.
And then she gets to have these lovely moments later in the show where she comforts Daisy after Daisy has tried to sabotage her food on Mrs. Patmore's behalf.
Yeah.
And frankly, Mrs. Patmore, like, you should have chosen a better lieutenant than Daisy. You, like, God bless her soul, but, like, you knew she was going to screw that up.
Yeah.
There had to be somebody else you could ask to... When she's standing there being like... She's like, whatever her proposition was, we only see Daisy's response asking like, so you want me to poison the food? There, full stop. Be like, you know what? Forget I said anything.
Yeah.
Forget I said anything. Don't give it another thought. So if her first reaction is, so you want me to poison the food? Done. Move on.
Yeah, please don't kill the family on my behalf.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, I'm going to find somebody else. So she just like spoils the food by putting some soap in the soup, and it turns out that it's actually for the staff. And so the staff has soapy soup. And, Mrs. Bird calls her out on it, and she's like, I knew you were going to do something. There's something shifty about you. Yeah. And then when Daisy breaks down and says, like, I was trying to just make it so that they didn't like her food as much as Mrs. Patmore's.
Yeah.
She gets it. And she's the one to comfort Daisy and say, like, there are worse things than loyalty.
Yeah, there are worse crimes than loyalty. I had forgotten that it was Mrs. Bird that comforts Daisy. Like, I had remembered it was a scene in which, she broke down and confessed, and somebody, like, complimented her on being so loyal to Mrs. Patmore. But yeah, to have Mrs. Bird reach out and do it, and then, like, have a solution for it, totally understand what Daisy was doing and not, continue to berate her for that mistake. Yeah. She really lives up to what Mosley says about Mrs. Bird, where she's like more of a general than a trooper, right? Yeah. That, she is a good leader.
Yeah.
And knows how to run a kitchen. And so she makes a really nice decision here in terms of like how to run the household smoothly. That moment where Mosley and Anna first watch like Mrs. Patmore and Mrs. Bird battling wits. There's your first little teaser. I was like, oh, I'd forgotten that Mosley like has a thing for Anna for a while. And Kevin, I can't remember his last name, but the actor playing Mosley in that moment, like he's got this like little wink and like this little second look at Anna. I was like, "Ooh, that's a little attractive, Mr. Mosley."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's and why shouldn't he?
Yeah.
She's apparently into guys who she is way out of their league. So go for it. Yeah. Go for it. Yeah. And I to say one more thing about Mrs. Bird too. She becomes an ally to Mrs. Patmore by the end of the episode, when she says to Mrs. Hughes, like, why are you buying the groceries?
Yeah.
Like, I've never not bought my own stuff and taken care of my own inventory. Like, what is this strange system?
Yeah.
And Mrs. Patmore is like, yes, I have been saying that. And suddenly they're like good friends. And it's clear that Mrs. Bird doesn't have any intention of, Mrs. Bird has no intention of sticking around. She doesn't want this job. She wants to go back to the job she has.
Yeah.
So, she knows in the back of her head, like, I'm no threat to this lady. Like, we can agree, we can disagree. What does it matter? I'm leaving.
Yeah. Mrs. Bird.
Really loved her character, loved the actress. Loved her whole storyline in this episode.
Yeah.
Just trying to think of some other things we want to talk about here.
Since we're talking about Mrs. Patmore and we mentioned Anna, we might as well talk about what Anna does. So Anna accompanies
Anna Bates investigates.
Anna Bates investigates. Like literally.
We have another episode of Anna Bates investigates.
Yes. And she goes to London with Mrs. Patmore. And while Mrs. Patmore is recovering in hospital, which at some point I want to talk about, like, she's in the hospital for a week. What do? There's no TV.
Girl, literally, I have that in my notes where it's like I could not imagine convalescing from eye surgery at that time.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine how bored I would have been at this time convalescing from an eye surgery. You just sit with your thoughts. Dreadful.
Yes. Sit with your thoughts alone in this very cold, sterile space with like very brusque hospital administrators.
No podcasts, no audiobooks, no music.
Nope.
You can't read because you don't have your eyes. Like, hopefully somebody interesting is in the room with you. You can at least chat.
Right.
But I don't find most people that interesting. So for me, would have been a problem. Would have been a long week.
People are only interesting for so long. So.
Right. Yeah. Hopefully there were some good sleeping pills involved.
Yeah.
So okay. So yes, that would have been awful. But meanwhile, Anna's staying at a hotel in London and doing all this investigating. Yes.
And so she goes to find, and at first I had said it was like Bates's landlord, but no, it's his mother. So she finds Bates's mother to ask about how he had been convicted of this crime of stealing silver and to get to the bottom of it, and discovers from his mother that it was actually his wife who had stolen the silver, and Bates confessed to it in part to like make up for his own bad behavior after the war, that clearly he had come back from the war with some post-traumatic stress, most likely, drank a lot, and as sort of a means of compensating for that behavior, when his wife stole the silver, he confessed to it and took the punishment.
Yeah. So we finally have the whole story there.
Yeah. And so this is the first mention of his wife's name. Like, we've kind of known she existed, but more on her later.
Yes. And that actress.
Yes.
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 Yeah. So, that's just her steadfastness to him. Really, everybody's loyalty to Bates at this point is really noteworthy. The fact that she's putting in all this work, the fact that Carson is reluctant to dismiss him, the fact that Robert is questioning his story because there's so many parts of it that just don't make sense, the fact that they're thinking about it that deeply. Like, this man clearly has really woven his way into the fabric of this family and this household in a way that people are very reluctant to want him to go. And there's clearly a respect and an admiration there.
Yeah.
That even a couple episodes ago, he was like, I've worked here for 2 years. Why didn't you know? And it's like, no, dude, they really do actually see you and believe in you in a way that maybe isn't warranted. Like, these are just your employers. Like, I can imagine a lot of other scenarios where they just would have been like, ugh, okay, yeah, well, thank you and goodbye.
Yeah. Well, and I think, that's sort of where Cora is at, which, like, I like her as a character, but the way that she dismisses Bates and the way that she just, like, pays attention to O'Brien, the fact that she has no antenna of, like, how terrible O'Brien is.
Yes, I also have a note about that. It's
just like, really, Cora? You're not picking up on this? Like, you're usually a very intuitive woman.
Well, but she also, I would imagine she also has very little interaction with Bates.
Yeah.
He's probably a member of the staff with which she has almost no time to talk, to get to know him. She doesn't have an opinion about him other than now she knows these things about him that are pretty big red flags for employing someone in your household.
Yeah.
Because when a very similar situation happens with her lady's maid in the future,
yes,
she isn't so quick to judge. She feels like she knows the character of the person and susses out that there's more to the story that you're not telling me, which is exactly what Robert's doing here.
Fair point.
But he's the one who knows him, both from their time together in the army and also now, day-to-day life at Downton. So
okay, good point. Anna
but
stands up.
Same with the O'Brien thing. I have a note about, like, at the end of the thing, she's like, "Dear O'Brien, how sweet you are." It's like, Cora is usually so astute. Like, she really is a good reader of people. I was like, it's so strange that she just gets this so wrong.
Yeah.
For so long.
Yeah. And that O'Brien isn't really sour with her per se, but she's not pleasant or particularly pleasant.
Yeah.
And the fact that Cora would be like, yes, I would just like this really sour and dour woman to be my lady's maid, and I want to entrust her with hiring my mother-in-law's lady's maid because she's so wise.
Yeah.
Really? I don't know.
I mean, again, it's just to lose a lady's maid after you've put in all the work of training them. Can you imagine anything worse?
I don't know. Just the problems.
But I mean, O'Brien really, truly, like, I mean, at one point when she thinks that she's about to be fired, she calls Cora that filthy, ungrateful cow. Like, come on.
Yeah.
But again, we see that. We see this side of her nature, and Cora doesn't. Cora only sees upstairs O'Brien.
Yeah. Upstairs O'Brien's not so great either. But anyway.
I mean, she's not great, but she's not calling her a filthy, ungrateful cow to her face, because I'm pretty sure then she would be dismissed pretty quickly. Also, can we just talk about the fact that, like, Cora's full on just taking a bath and O'Brien's in the room? It's like, this is how close their relationship would have been with their servants. Like, especially at that point, I'd be like, I want to not only trust and respect the person's work, I want to like them as a person. If they're going to be in the bathroom while I'm taking a bath.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
At this point, I think we can give a shout out to Siobhan Finneran, who plays O'Brien.
Yes. The actress.
Yes.
We love to hate you, gal.
She's really excellent in this part, and if I recommend for those viewers who really like hate O'Brien's guts and need some redemption for the actress, if you check out something like Happy Valley on Netflix, she plays a sister. She's like a recovering addict and just like a fierce defender of her family. So see her in a different light in a different program.
I like that. Yeah. I think I will check that out, because I mean, obviously, to dislike the character this much, it means the actress is doing something well. Yeah. So. Yeah, she really does. It's another character with some hard edges, but this time there's like a real softness and an empathy to her. Right. Yeah. So you can really cheer for her. It was a nice change. Yeah. Some other things that are just worthy of commenting upon a little bit more. The installation of the telephone is such a hoot, especially Carson's attempt at practicing picking up the telephone and realizing that there's somebody on the other end listening. Yes. You know, and how indignant he is when she's like, you know, it's like, oh, you think your voice is all that pleasant to listen to? Yeah. I love that was a lovely, funny moment. And of course, the installation of the telephone also brings with it the end of Gwen's storyline. Yeah. Gosh, there's so much plot. And so Sybil is there when the telephone installer, the owner of the company, is talking about how fast they're growing and he needs a secretary, and she puts in Gwen's application, and then when she doesn't hear from him, she corners him during the telephone installation to be like, oh, you didn't reply, and his response is like, well, yeah, she doesn't have any experience, like you're a reference, but like, as far as I know, you don't own a business, which is kind of a cheeky thing to say, but I was there for it, and so she has to admit, like, well, no, she does work here, she's a lady's maid, this would be her first position as a secretary, but she's a hard worker, she's a good person. And the guy's like, oh, well, why didn't you just say that? Yeah. Bring her over. Another unsung hero, or like Mrs. Bird, like another favorite character of this episode, because his like, my mother was a housemaid. Yeah. And they know hard work and long hours. And she's like, yes, sir. Yes, I do. And so like, yeah, what a great moment. And she gets the job, and the season ends with her moving on, or she's she's begun, as she says, He's so what a great.
he's so kind and so proud of his mom in that moment. The party,
Yeah.
he's like, I would like this man's family's whole story because,
Right?
like, there's a really interesting plot of like a mother who's a housemaid and then a son who's coming to work for the telephone company, and like the family is moving their way up. And it's like this sounds like a really delightful, lovely plot to follow.
Yeah. Okay, there's so much to cover, but let's get to the end. There's there's a fate, there's a garden party, whatever we want to call it.
Ooh, fate, nice.
Yeah. Matthew says he's leaving. Violet is scolding Rosamond for giving Mary bad advice, and she says, I'm sorry, Mama, but you know me, I have to say what I think. And Violet responds with, why? Nobody else does.
Such a good line.
Such a good line. And then we get, at the very end of the episode, a telegram is delivered to Robert, where he then announces to the whole party that England is officially at war with Germany, and they have entered what we now know as World War II.
World War I.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
I was like, wait, didn't we already do a war? It's like, no, it's you watched this season 10 years ago.
Yes.
It's like, wait, haven't they already been through a war? No, that's season 2. It's coming up.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So they are going to war.
Yeah. And I mean, some shots are fired metaphorically between Mary and Edith, and that once Mary is wise to the fact that Edith is the one who started the rumors about her, Mary then sort of brings Stralin aside at the garden party and suggests that Edith has been making fun of him behind his back. So she
poisons the well.
Yeah, she poisons the well. So now Edith cannot hope for a proposal from Sir Anthony Stralin. He thinks... twice now, like 2 Crawley girls have been mocking him. So he's like, peace out. I'm done with this family. You also get Branson like whispering into Sybil's ear because he gets the phone call about Gwen's job. Mrs. Hughes taking him aside. Watch out. You're going to lose your job and get your heart broken. So like Mrs. Hughes, she hates an atmosphere, as we know from the last episode, and she senses an atmosphere here. So
yeah. And then I just want to touch on the last few moments of this episode, because for me, and I'll be watching for it more closely in the future. For me, this moment of like cutting to everyone's faces and having them react like, like it felt too much. Yeah. It felt very not Downton.
Yes.
It felt soap opera at a level that this show usually manages to like skirt the edges of, but doesn't fully like jump in with both feet. And this like cutting to everyone's visibly shocked faces, it was too much for me. I was like, this was too much.
Yeah.
Shame it's the last moments of the season, because I was like, oh no, I think this was a misstep, but everything leading up to it I loved.
I think they could have ended on Robert's, like, we are
just Robert's face.
Yep. We are at war. Boom.
Yeah.
Cut to black.
No. They cut to everybody else.
Yes.
Everybody else. So all right. Well, that is the end of Downton Abbey season 1.
Yes.
We've watched the first season. Shall we tell folks what we're going to be talking about next?
I think we should.
Okay. Go ahead.
So,
you get to make the big announcement.
So we're kind of building a bridge to another Fellowes series that's really closely associated with this one, in that Downton Abbey season 1 begins with a telegram announcing the sinking of the Titanic. And so we thought, let's go ahead and jump to Julian Fellowes' Titanic miniseries, commissioned, I think, for the anniversary of the Titanic disaster. So it aired in 2012, right? 2012.
Yep.
And I found this program through Fandango. So we were watching it on Fandango at home. That's where I found Titanic 2012.
I'm watching it on YouTube.
Oh, okay, great.
So far I've been able to find the episodes on YouTube. I don't know that all 4 are there, but
okay.
So far they are.
But yeah, there are 4 episodes. We are excited to take this voyage with you.
Yes.
And See what connections
So glad
we can
I
make.
watched this after going on a cruise.
Yeah. Most definitely.
So that's what's up next. So we're excited to take a little detour away from Downton and explore some other Fellows properties.
Yeah.
But
Hope
we'll be
you'll
back.
join us.
We'll come back to season 2 of Downton, I'm sure, in the not too distant future. So,
yeah.
Indeed. All right. Well, every episode we do some trivia.
Yep.
So it's my turn to give you a trivia question. But before we get to that, let's take a listen to last week's question and answer.
Okay. Okay. So we highlighted the great work of Elizabeth McGovern in this episode. And during this rewatch, I can't help but think about how when the show first came on and I learned about her casting, I thought it was really ironic and appropriate given one of her first roles in another period film. In which 1981 movie, which is now enjoying a revival of its musical adaptation, did Elizabeth McGovern play a woman ensconced in scandal, swinging between loyalties? Name the film and bonus points if you can name her role in it.
1981.
Mm-hmm.
Currently experiencing a musical revival. Well, the thing that comes to mind first and foremost is Death Becomes Her. No. Okay, what is it?
So, Elizabeth McGovern played Evelyn Nesbit in the 1981 film of Ragtime.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I am so very excited to be seeing Ragtime, my favorite musical.
Yeah.
I feel like I should have known that of all the things. You got it, though.
I thought you might know this one.
No, I had no idea. I didn't even know there was a Ragtime movie from 1981.
I think the musical is a better adaptation of the story, frankly.
Great. I wasn't going to watch it either way. I'm just excited to see it in January. So
yes.
that's what I'm keeping my sights on. But very interesting fact. I did not know that.
There you go.
Love that. Good question.
Thank you.
All right, listeners, did you know better than me my favorite musical? Because I feel like I should have gotten that one and I didn't. So I hope you had better luck than I did. But it's now Stefanie's turn to answer a question. So pretty early in the episode, when Thomas and O'Brien leave the table, William says, he makes a comment, "There they go, Guy Fawkes and his assistant," which is a reference to a historical moment, which is actually very timely because when this episode comes out on November 5th, it will have been 420 years since Guy Fawkes and his co-conspirators attempted to blow up Parliament.
Yes.
That happened in 1605. So what was their plan called? It was the blank plot. That's this week's trivia, and if you know the answer, go ahead and head over to our Instagram and comment over there and let us know. But yeah, that makes another episode of Strange Bedfellows. We've come to a close. You've heard our thoughts, and now we want to hear yours.
The best way to get in touch with us is on Instagram. Again, that's at Strange Bedfellows with an ES in Fellows, or email us at strangebedfellows@gmail.com. You can also find our personal social media links in the show notes.
And if you would be so kind, please rate and review the show wherever you are listening to us right now. We're still a baby show. We need that support. We need the visibility. And make sure you're subscribing so you don't miss any future episodes. Thank you for listening.
We'll see you on board next week.
Yes.